So Neewer reached out to me and asked if I can review their V-mount battery and their 7-inch monitor. And it was perfect timing because I was trying to build out this all-in-one YouTube studio rig. And those components are essential in this particular rig. So I reached out to them and asked if I could build this ultimate tabletop YouTube studio rig with all Neewer accessories, and they agreed. So thank you very much to Neewer for sending all of these accessories. But again, they did not give me a script. They do not get to see this video before it's published. And I would have used their products anyway, so much so that, look, this is the V-mount battery that Neewer sent. I actually already had one of my own to be used in this particular rig. I was just building it slowly and saving up money for it. But now, since I got all the accessories, we get to build it together. Also, I am not pretending that this is all of my idea. This is heavily influenced by Gabriel VIP and DSLR video shooter. I will be linking their channels below as well. This particular version is just more specific to my needs and something that I can use in multiple configurations. So let's start. First up is the base. I chose this 20-inch aluminum tripod from Neewer, even though there are others there that might be a little bit taller and might be carbon fiber and whatnot, but I wanted this for a few particular reasons. One, it has some 1/4 mounts, which will be essential for us to put the friction arms where accessories will be living. Secondarily, I like these foam grips. The foam grips allows us to clamp more accessories to the tripod without having to have dedicated arms for them. So I have two 1/4 mounts in this tripod, one on the side and one on the bottom, and a potential of 3 legs to clamp stuff on. It also includes a ball head already, so that saves us on a little bit of cost. And I think 20-inch will be perfect because for my setup, this will be mostly tabletop tripod where I can move it around in different surfaces within my apartment so I can do my YouTube videos. Also, all links to all these products will be down below as well. Now we have the base where everything will be attached. We need some power. And as I already showed you earlier, this is the Neewer PSO99E. So this will hold 6800 milliamperes, 99 watt per hour. When picking a V-mount battery, I think the biggest consideration will be the power that it holds because it will be directly correlated to the size of the battery. There is 3 major categories of this. Will be the 50 version, which is around half the size, this 99 or 100 version, and then there's also a 200 version, which will be a super thick. I think the 99 is the best value per size per output. It is small enough that it's not extremely obtrusive, but not too small where you can only power a few devices for a little bit. This PSO99E version of Neewer not only charge multiple devices all at the same time, but if you're doing a longer shoot, which I do on occasion where I film events, this can last easily more than 3 hours powering all of my devices. Next up will be the friction arms that we'll be needing to attach to the tripod so that accessories can be mounted to them. I got 2 different sizes, which Neewer also has. I have a 5.9-inch articulating friction arm and an 11-inch adjustable friction magic arm. I chose 2 sizes because I still want my entire rig to be compact, but some accessories that we will be mounting will be a little bit bigger, so you need a little bit more distance between the tripod and the accessory. Because we have a V-mount battery, we'll also need a way for us to mount the V-mount battery to the tripod and or the camera if you wanted. So you have a couple of options. This is the L-shaped V-lock battery plate that has an Arca Swiss mount over here. This way you mount the camera like so, and then you can attach the V-mount battery in the back like so. So this is an option and I might use this on occasion, but I particularly want my camera to be easily taken on and off the tripod, and this plate might be a little bit obtrusive on occasion. So the other option of mounting your V-mount battery to your tripod or camera is one of these. V-mount battery plate with a super clamp. So this way you can just attach your battery to this mount, and then you can clamp this entire contraption to a pole, to a chair, wherever it can clamp onto. And again, that's why we picked a tripod with foam grips, so that one, it'll clamp better, but also two, it won't damage the tripod itself. And the last and coolest part is the monitor. I've used a bunch of different monitors in my multiple rigs, and I've always chosen the 5-inch version of external monitors. And although I find them useful, I always found them lacking as well, because the 5-inch monitor doesn't really have that much more of a real estate from the flip out monitor that you have on the camera. So when I wanted to build this new ultimate YouTube studio rig, I wanted something that is extremely useful, and a bigger 7-inch monitor is way more visible and way more useful in the ways that I would want to use them as well. This way I could really see what the camera sees, move this at an angle where it's not so far away from the lens, so I'm not looking off to the side of the monitor like that, or up and down to check my frame. So this Neewer F7000 monitor is super great. It has an ultra clear monitor. It is touch screen, very simple controls up top. And when you get this, it also includes 2 NPF batteries with USB-C ports on them, so you can charge them pretty much anywhere you have your own charger, and they can work both together and independent each other. The monitor even shows you the power percentage of each battery if and when you need to change your batteries. For this particular rig though, the reason why we have this V-mount battery is to kind of like consolidate the power source and not have additional things onto the mount and make it a little bit more compact. So we're going to power this monitor with a V-mount battery as well. And though the Neewer F7000 7-inch monitor has all of the cords that you may need to connect your monitor to your camera, I still went out and got bungee cord versions of the cords that I will need for this particular rig. This will make it just a little bit easier to stow, a little bit neater on the rig itself. So I have this cord to power the monitor from the V-mount battery, and I also have this mini HDMI and HDMI cord to connect the monitor to the camera. There's also a couple of accessories that we will be adding to the rig, but because they're optional and actually not Neewer products, I'm gonna leave them at the end so you can customize that bit to your taste. For this rig, the camera that we will be using is the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. I have this Sony mic attached to it for now because ideally what I would use is my Hollyland Lark II wireless lav system for audio, but I'm using it to record this video right now, but this will work as well. And the lens of choice that I would want for this setup is the Sony 15mm 1.4. The Sigma 16mm 1.4 is the more popular lens too, and that will work as well. So, or any particular focal length that you would want for your individual YouTube studio setup. So those are the tools. Let's get assembling. So this tripod can extend, make it a little bit taller, but in my case, because I want to put it on a desk, I want it in its shortest setup. Also, it'll kind of give me the limits of where I can put my friction arms as well. But with the tripod, first thing I will do is attach the friction arms so I know how to align my accessories. So first, I'm gonna put the 11-inch friction arm at the bottom 1/4-20, and I have my 5.9-inch friction arm that I'll be attaching on the side 1/4-20. And I'll be clamping the V-mount battery to one of the legs, preferably on what you'd perceive to be the back of your setup, and this will be to balance the weight. And this will kind of be the base structure of this tabletop tripod. You know where the camera goes and you know where the lens goes, but let's attach some of the other accessories now. I am aligning this monitor to essentially be right at the bottom of the lens. So if I'm checking my frame, it's still kind of in line the lens that is shooting me at. Then for this extra 5.9-inch friction arms, I have two main uses for it. One is, say I am shooting an event and I want scratch audio. I could install this Zoom H1 external recorder directly onto here as a backup or secondary audio recording. I could also use the H1N as an audio recording directly from my camera, but I already love how my wireless mics record audio directly to my camera. So this is more for an event setup. I think for my use case, When I'm going to use this for talking head videos in the apartment and changing angles, what I would do is I would attach a phone mount. And then I typically have my notes about the video on my phone. So this is how it kind of looks. You have a monitor here to check your frame, and then I'll have my notes, my bullet points, or my script right here, right underneath where the camera would be. So this is how it's kind of shaping up right now. Now let's proceed with powering our accessories. First, by connecting the V-mount battery to the monitor. So now we're going to connect the camera to the monitor so we can see what the camera is seeing. Mini HDMI goes into the camera. Regular HDMI goes to the monitor. Now, when we power on the camera and the monitor, this is how our setup kind of looks like. So it's going to be super clear and super easy. Everything is in this one mount that I can move from place to place. I can even just like hold it like this. So this is your view whenever you're recording with this particular setup. I love this setup because doing talking head videos can get a little bit stale. So if you can move your view from one place to another, seems to be quite really cool. Slide over here, boop. Now I have a little second setup coming from my main view to my second view. And if I'm not satisfied with this particular view, all I have to do is just, again, move this around, maybe put it right in front of me then, in this case. Realign, voila. Cool multiple views and a quick, super easy video setup. All right, let's go back to our main setup and have this contraption as our secondary angle right about there. I think this is perfect. This is great. Now, whenever I'm talking to the camera, I have a very clear view because I have a giant 7-inch monitor right underneath my lens. If I want to fix anything, fix the exposure or whatnot, I have my phone here for notes and script. I can move it around very easily. And I also have options of adding different accessories here. Maybe I don't need a monitor. And we can just replace the monitor with, again, maybe a recorder, maybe a light, and everything can be contained in this particular setup. Easy to set up, and more importantly, easy to strike down. So if I need my camera to take photographs and instead of making videos, all I have to do is turn off my monitor, literally pull out one cord, unscrew my camera, and then now I'm ready to shoot, run and gun. So yeah, this is my ultimate YouTube studio tabletop setup. It is portable, it is compact, and I carefully chose these accessories to make it affordable for the starting YouTuber, right? That's the most important thing. Most of us don't have unlimited budgets to make these setups. I'm lucky that Neewer was able to send me all of these things to make this rig for me, but I understand not all of us can have that type of luxury. So I really wanted to be judicious in the brand and accessories and the types of things that I wanted to use to maximize the content generating capacity of this. And you can also think about tweaking this setup to really hit the things that you are making. So if you don't need the monitor, maybe replace it with, again, an external mic. Yeah, if you don't need the phone, you might want some lights there as well if you don't need notes to read through scripts. Right now, in this particular setup, I'm only powering the monitor through the V-mount battery, but I could easily also power the camera and power my phone for a longer shoot session. And because the Neewer V-mount battery has a lot of power, I don't have to worry about running out of juice powering all of these gadgets all at the same time. All right, I hope that was helpful. Again, the links to every single one of the components of this setup will be down below in the description. I hope you found this useful. And if it did, I'd love for you guys to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so that you know when our next videos drop. I really do appreciate your time and looking forward to seeing you in the next one.